And you know what time it is. The Blue Jays, you're darn tuned what I got here. I got a nice little broomstick here. And the Blue Jays, they sweep the Oakland Athletics, hanging on for dear life, but winning 5-4 today in 9 innings over the Oakland Athletics. And a lot of storylines coming into the game. First things first. But this was actually, reported not too long ago. Matt Shoemaker, torn ACL, done for the season. Well, that's that. That's that out of the way. And the Blue Jays, who is starting for the Jays today? Well, Aaron Sanchez was on the mound today, and he actually leaves the game in the 4th inning. Oh, what? Why did he leave the game? Broken fingernail on his pitching hand. Oh, not this again! The Blue Jays have been decimated with injuries. They actually, in the 9th inning with 2 out, Freddie Galvis comes out of the game because he got something going on in the back of his leg, in the hamstring and back of the knee area. So he comes out of the game for Richie Duran. I think that was just more of like I don't want to screw up this last play type of thing by Freddie Galvis. But the Jays have been decimated with injuries, especially in the rotation with Shoemaker. Could be Aaron Sanchez now, Ryan Baraki, Clayton Richard. It's been crazy. It's been crazy for this Jays rotation so far this year. But the Blue Jays do sweep the Oakland A's. They go 6-1 on the road trip there in the 7 games, and they are just 1 game under 500 at 11-12. Incredible job by the Blue Jays to play some fundamentally sound and good baseball. Now, yes, there was 1 error in the game, and it was Oscar Hernandez flying across the field for some weird reason, but other than that, the Jays played a pretty damn good ball game. They're getting their timely hits. Again, runners in scoring position. The Jays are one of the best teams in the league in that category. And with the sweep today, this is the first sweep for the Blue Jays, I think it was since August of last year. And get this one. This is the first road sweep by the Toronto Blue Jays since 2015. You guys remember that year? Joey Bat's bat flip 4 years ago. That's how long, that's the last time the Jays swept a road series. And they did it in pretty darn good fashion, crushing the Oakland A's in Game 1, crushing them in Game 2, thinking you were going to crush them today, but an 8th inning rally and Ryan Tepera not being great, getting them back in the ball game, making it a 5-4 game, but Giles ends up closing the door in the game. And let's get to this one here. At the top of the 3rd inning, the Blue Jays get some big offense here early on, right? Rowdy Tellez leads off with a single. He's getting real hot. Danny Jansen then walks. He's been getting on base quite often this year. Yeah, the batting average is sub 200, but he is doing a great job of getting on base. He walks Rowdy Tellez up to second base. We got runners at first and second now. Nobody out. And Billy McKinney bunts, sacrifice bunt, move both runners over. Beautiful job there. Next up, Alan Hansen. He singles to left field. Rowdy Tellez comes in to score. Danny Jansen up to third base. Then, because you bunted and because everyone moved over on the base hit, Freddie Galvis is an RBI ground out to Kendrys Morales at first base, K-Money. And they throw it home, get Jansen at the plate, and then Alan Hansen moves up to third base or second base on the play. Then he steals third, and Galvis steals second base. So now we still have runners at second and third now, looking to get something going here. Randall Grichuk gets an infield single to Matt Chapman at third base. Alan Hansen comes in to score, and the Jays now have a 2-0 lead. We're feeling good here, and they bring in Yusmeiro Petit because former Blue Jay Brett Anderson has to leave the game. It was a game of injuries today. I don't know what the heck was going on there at the Coliseum, but both pitchers went down with injuries, and both pitchers had to leave the game. But Brett Anderson, in the 2 2/3 that he did pitch, give up 4 hits and 2 runs, was not very good. Aaron Sanchez, however, though, in the 4 innings that he threw, he walked 3, yeah, but he only gave up 2 hits and 1 run and struck out a couple batters. So he wasn't even that bad. But the issue of the finger and the flipping broken nail and the blister and all whatever the heck goes on with your fingers, Aaron Sanchez is finding ways to get hurt, and it's killing me. It's killing all of us to watch, because we watch him have a pretty good start to the season, and with that job today, his ERA drops to 2.77. That's pretty damn good if you ask me, but doesn't mean squat if he gets a DL stint. And if he does go on the DL, who are the Jays pitchers? You got Buckles, Stroman, and I mean, who else? Who'd your other pitcher be? Trent Thornton? And he's been awful over his last couple games. the Jays rotation might get real thin really quick here. And yeah, the Jays are pitching really well and they're playing really well, but injuries do a damn. They do wonders, and right now they're doing a ton of damage to the Toronto Blue Jays. But we weren't done yet. After that nice little 2-run lead, like I said, the RBI ground out in the double play by K-Money, Kendrys Morales, in the bottom of the fourth, cutting the Jays' lead to 2-1. Then the top of the sixth inning, again, small ball, getting runs. Rowdy Tellez hit a sacrifice fly to center field. Brandon Drury comes in to score on the play, and the Jays add that. They get that run right back from K-Money's stupidness. And the Blue Jays have a 3-1 lead. Great stuff. Top 7, Jay Smoke. I don't know why the heck I'm reading that there. Justin Smoke. You know what he does? All he does is rip smoke bombs. I mean, this one was absolutely plastered by Justin Smoke to dead center field. We thought Rowdy Tellez's dinger yesterday was crushed. Justin Smoke crushes a 413-foot bomb to dead center field. Freddie Galvis was on base in the process. He gets a single in that inning, and the Jays extend their lead to 5-1. They're playing really good. Smokey's hitting smoke bombs all over the place. And the Blue Jays are hitting the ball like crazy. It's awesome. And you get a 5-1 lead now heading into the 8th. But then Marcus Semien singles center field, 1 run comes in. Chapman hits a sacrifice fly, 1 run comes in. Then Chris Davis singles, another run comes in. And just like that, it's a 5-4 game. And Ken Giles has to come out now for the 4-out save. Now, he did give up the single to Chris Davis to score the run, but that run was charged to Ryan Tepera. But after that, and yes, there's a little bit of craziness going on there in the 9th inning, but Ken Giles does get the job done. And the reason I brought up earlier on about Freddie Galvis leading the game and Richard Urania coming in with 2 outs in the 9th inning, you hear all around sports and all that, so especially in baseball, when you get taken out for an injury and somebody else gets put in there. Almost always, the first play goes right to that player. Whoa, excuse me. And what happens with Richard Urania on this last play of the ball game? It's a fly ball, kind of in no man's land between him and Teoscar Hernandez and Randall Grichuk. It's kind of like the triangle pyramid stuff that usually goes really wrong. And if that drops in, we got a tie ball game, and they could even, have runners in scoring position with 2 out, but that's the winning run at third base, and you never know. But instead, Urania runs back, makes the play, and ends the ball game. So you think back now, well, Freddie Galvis was hurt. You never know what would have happened, right? That could have been a totally different scenario. But a great job by Montoyo, and a great job by Freddie Galvis thinking, I don't want to do this to my team. This is the smart move for this team. And Charlie Montoyo having no problem and no hesitation. You come out, Richie, you get in there. He only got off the plane a couple hours ago, and he's right in the ball game, making the final catch of the game. Love it from Richard Urania there, and the Blue Jays get the sweep. It's awesome. Now let's run through the stats real quick here. Alan Hansen, 1 for 5 with an RBI. Obviously, the RBI single there in the 3rd inning. Freddie Galvis, 2 for 5 with a run scored. Great job, Freddie. Randall Grichuk, 1 for 5 with an RBI. Justin Smoke, this guy has been on some sort of tear lately, and with that shot in the 8th inning, he goes 4 for 5 with a couple RBIs, gets the home run, scores a run. He's hitting .313 on the year with an on-base of .439. Justin Smoke has been on some kind of tear here, guys, on the 7-game road trip, really. And Hernandez goes 0 for 5 in the game with a couple strikeouts. Brandon Drury stays red hot. You look at the last 3 games for him. He had the home run in the first game of the series to get his first home run of the year. Then yesterday, I think he goes 3 for 4 in the game yesterday. And today, he goes 2 for 4 with an RBI. He's now hitting .197 after a couple games ago, only hitting .140. Great to see there. Rowdy Tellez 1 for 2 in the ball game with the RBI on the sac fly. He scores a run. He walks once. Really, really good job by Rowdy Tellez there. Batting average up to .241 for him. And Danny Jansen goes 1 for 3 with a walk as well. He's only hitting .179 on the year with a .270 on base, but he is slowly getting up there. And a guy like Billy McKinney, 1 for 3 in the game, he's hitting .246. The Jays batting average, they're getting up to more respectable numbers, and the Blue Jays continue to win ball games, which is quite awesome to see. And the winning pitcher in today's game, Daniel Hudson, who's been really, really good over the last little while, guys. So to come in for Aaron Sanchez, he goes an inning and 2/3, gives up 1 hit, no runs, no walks, strikes out 3. Great job by Daniel Hudson when he came in. Joe Biagini comes in for the final out of Daniel Hudson's inning and his second inning. And goes a clean inning of work. Joe Biagini, inning in the third. No hits, no walks, no runs scored. Clean job for Big Joe. ERA down to 2.38 for Joe Biagini. Great job there. And like I said, Ryan Tepera ran into some really big issues there. Only gave up the one hit, but he had 3 runs, walked 2. Just really didn't look too good, Ryan Tepera. And then Ken Giles gave up 3 hits in his inning in the third, but preserves the victory with no walks and no earned runs for Ken Giles and the strikeout for his 7th save on the season. Now, the Blue Jays have one day off. They have tomorrow off, and I'm kind of upset because they're playing really good ball, but let's say they need a day off for maintenance issues. Fine, that's okay. The next game for the Toronto Blue Jays is on Tuesday, 7:07 first pitch at Rogers Center, versus the San Francisco Giants. Now, why am I hyping this up so much? Well, first things first, if you don't know why I'm hyping it up, really? Kevin Pillar makes his return to Rogers Center. I am really hoping that place, I wouldn't say fills out, but it's, I guess, more full than what we've been used to seeing. Jeff Samardzija on the mound for the Giants and Trent Thornton on the mound for the Blue Jays. Like I said, 7:07 first pitch. In Kevin Pillar, Superman's return to Rogers Center on Tuesday night. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. You guys enjoyed this video. You enjoyed the game. You've enjoyed the last 6 wins for the Jays, because it was 6 of the last 7. Hit that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the game, the injury situation with this team, and also your thought on Aaron Sanchez's blister, and also the stretch this team's been on, the 6-1 stretch they're on right now. What are your thoughts, and what is the keys to this team doing what they've been doing over the last little while? I want to hear your guys' thoughts on that. And Evan and I will talk to you guys. Podcast edition will be tomorrow afternoon. Link is in the description for the podcast channel and for the podcast itself on iTunes. Twitter is also down below. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff. And follow the main man Mo Buckets on Twitter. And also, Blue Jays Wave on Instagram. He's the editor. He does all that stuff. And is, again, right on the spot. He does all the updates. It's beautiful stuff. He was the one that reported to me first about the whole Matt Shoemaker situation. So, guys, go check him out on Instagram. Blue Jays Wave on Instagram. Please do so. Great guy. Great quality content. Please do so. And I'll talk to you guys. Leafs edition Game 7 on Tuesday as they're in TD Garden taking on the Boston Bruins again for Game 7. I still believe in this team. I'm trying to, at least. And Game 7, it's winner take all for the series, really. And for the Leafs, it'll feel like the Stanley Cup if they win that game on Tuesday night, all right? So, guys, that's that. And then for the Toronto Raptors, we'll talk to you guys a little bit later on tonight. They're in halftime right now against the Orlando Magic, up big at the half, though, as they look to take a stranglehold 3-1 series lead in their round 1 matchup against the Orlando Magic. And as for the Toronto Blue Jays, like we said, their next matchup is on Tuesday night as they welcome back Superman Kevin Pillar to Rogers Center. Jeff Samardzija, Trent Thornton are the starters there in Tuesday's game. Thank you guys so much for listening, and hopefully we'll see this more often as the season goes along. All right, so thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you guys then.